We're talking about how to complete the activity section. This is a great opportunity for you to share more about yourself in a brief space. What is the activity section? Well, it gets into things you've done outside the classroom, your interests, your accomplishments, your skills, the responsibilities you've had, anything outside of your classes. So there's a lot of things you can go into. Common App gives you several categories that you can start with, and it also has other, so you can always add something of your own. They give you space for 10 activities. Now, that does not mean that you have to include 10, but it means that you can. And it's not better to include more. So you want to include the ones that are meaningful. If you have 10 activities, that's fine. But if you have 4 or 3, that's okay as well. You can look at anything. It can be a music activity. It can be something related to a foreign language. It can be a job. It can be something you do at home. Maybe you help take care of siblings or you have responsibilities in the family. It can be theater. It can be something academic. As long as it happens outside the classroom, it's considered an activity. So how do you do this? How do you even start? Well, the first thing you want to do is step outside of the Common App platform to work on your activity list. It's a lot less stressful than having to write these in the box. You'll copy and paste them in later. So take an editable document. It can be anything you want, anything that's easy for you to keep track of. And you're going to list all the possible activities. Look, you can go back and look at their list to give you, maybe it'll prompt some ideas for you. Make a list. And for each one, you're going to write what it is, what you did. These are just notes. You don't have to write anything fancy. Any positions or leadership. Did you have a role on a board? Did you lead an activity? Anything at all. Were you just a member? That's fine too. Is it something you started? Is it something you participated in? And anything you accomplished, anything at all, an honor you got, something important that you did, something that you're proud of. Did you raise money? Did you recruit members? Anything at all, doesn't matter. Big or small. Remember, you're not trying to be impressive. You're just trying to record what you did so that those who are reading your application have a greater sense of who you are. Now, you're going to start out with the first draft. And in this case, characters don't matter yet. And by characters, I mean the letters, the spaces, the commas, all the other punctuation. But you should keep in mind that the character limit is brief. So you're not writing paragraphs and paragraphs, but when you do your first draft, you can keep it general. You don't have to count characters yet. You will eventually have 50 characters. That's not letters, it's characters for the position or leadership role, and 150 characters to describe the activity and how you were involved in it. But as I said, you're writing a first draft. You're not inside the Common App yet. You're just using a document to make some notes. Here's an example. So let's say that you worked at an animal shelter. So I would make some notes, what I did. I volunteered for 2 years. I fed the dogs, played with the cats, cleaned crates. This is much more than 150 characters. Leadership, last year they asked me to work at the front desk answering calls because I know a lot about how the shelter works. Other important information, I'm the only high school volunteer at the shelter. All the other volunteers are adults. So these are just notes. This is just helping me think about this activity. Next, you're going to edit. So this is where you really have to whittle down to the very most important information. Characters matter now. You have 50 characters to describe the position or any leadership role you had, and 150 characters to describe the activity and how you were involved in it. Characters include spaces and all the punctuation. So a period is a character, and the word the is 3 characters. With a space on either side, you all of a sudden 150 characters is not very much space. So how would we take this animal shelter example? Well, after you make your list and your notes, you're going to try to make 150 character or fewer little capsule description. The biggest challenge is keeping these descriptions below the 150 character limit. But remember, your information is spread out across all different questions. So you don't have to put everything in the description. What do I mean? Well, for instance, you don't need to write National Honor Society in your description, because the organization's name is National Honor Society. Similarly, your description doesn't need to say that you were on student council for 4 years, because there's a separate space for indicating which years you participated in the activity. So these might seem like small things to think about, but they'll help you stay within the 150 character limit. So the notes about an animal shelter might look like this. The activity is animal shelter. Position, volunteer, receptionist. Description, sole high school volunteer. So that's when I said, I was the only high school student. Sole high school volunteer. Responsibilities include feeding dogs, playing with cats, cleaning crates, answering phones, and greeting visitors. So there we have it, a brief explanation of the activities. You're going to do that for as many activities as you want. And when you're done, you'll have a much broader picture of who you are and what you've done outside the classroom.